Hey y'all, Justin the Zilla here, back again. Another live stream unboxing. My camera's a little weird. Sorry if it's a little weird looking, at least to me. I'm like, what the heck? There, that feels more right. But here we are. Yeah, this over. There we go. Excuse me. All right. Well, we're back. Another Friday. I can't believe it's been another week. It feels like it's been like 2 days. Days have been going by super fast. Working a lot, making it through. But I am Justin, the Zilla, back here. Another Friday, another week, another day to talk toys, another week of yapping and having fun, chilling out, doing our thing. So yeah, ready for it, ready to get going. But yeah, just been working, making it through. Hopefully my mic is working. Based on what I'm seeing, it is working. But I heard no. Hold on. I will check. That is working. Looks like it. Good. But yeah, just kind of a busy week. Been a weird week. A lot of times at work. Just a lot going on. Well, actually, not very much going on, and that's the problem. It's like, okay, we're here every day, sitting around for hours on end, and then going home up until like 3 o'clock. Finally, after being there since 5 a.m. So it's insane. But we're making it through, doing our thing. We're finally here on Friday, and I do want to mention, apologies to y'all. Haven't uploaded any of the shorts that I've had ready to go. Been busy and just haven't had the energy. Just kind of like getting back into the groove of the regular week of work and stuff like that. Just like kills me, man. It's just knocking me out. So apologies. I'll definitely be getting it up before the end of this coming week. That's definitely going to be on the plan because now I got to do 3 shorts after today. So it's like piling up. Time to finally get it out because it's not that hard because I've done it like a dozen times. So I know my thing and it does well. So I appreciate y'all supporting me. I'm just being lazy. I'm just being dumb. So we'll get there. Hold on to those who want the shorts and who like the shorts. We'll get there. Yeah, but nothing update on the wall. Wall's the same. Looks great. I guess the main thing is still Mondo Gecko, but that's from last week when we did the Ultimate Body Count. Casey Jones. Very cool. And I will give an update on him because I think I said I would do this in the previous stream. Like of looking at the figure, but I did just swap his parts, and I think I even did this on stream. But I put all of the actual regular Casey parts on here, and I actually should have kept that out. But I did also get the regular, the Target exclusive Casey Jones in the red, the regular Mirage one. I just put the mask and then the regular, like the hockey stick that one came with. I put on that figure and it looks pretty good. It's in it's in the display box where it is. Do I want to grab that? I might grab that, but yeah, just to show off. But there's basically my ultimate Mirage Casey. I know this probably isn't really accurate to any specific look or time when Casey was around, but it just works. I like having the chainsaw. I like having the actual gloves there, yeah, for hockey, and then having him with the regular head, and then having the whole thing with weapons and the muscular, bigger body. I still haven't heated this guy up because honestly he just looks fine just there. I just like posing the figures as is and then just having them there because this is how he's gonna look on the thing. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty neat. So looking forward to messing with him at some point again. Very cool figure. And then I do want to show off a couple other figures that I did get from one of my friends, one of my dearest friends, Lou, aka Queenie T, of the Frogs and Toads. Be sure to check her out on Instagram because she had these little blind box, little horror figures. I forget what this guy's called. I forget what he's called, but this is like the robot from Danger Will Robinson. I forget what these guys are called, but nice little cool little horror figures that she knew, yeah, that I would be into. So they're really cool, and they look very, very neat. I have been kind of like casually on the hunt for these, kind of just looking here and there because I do, yeah, because this is a part of like their Monsters line from like 2014 from the Funko, yeah, from Funko Pop. So where oh well, it's not Pop, but they're just Funko, but but where they had, yeah, your blind boxes and it's all the horror monster, or yeah, mainly all of like your iconic classic ones. Kind of, I think they did more so because they did Chucky. I know they did Jason, Leatherface, Michael Myers, Tim Curry's Pennywise, and then some other guys, but that's like the main ones that I remember. But then I think they did a series 2, and that's where these guys came from, and they just look great. So they sit up there on my horror shelf with the rest of mine there for the moment, until I can actually find a good place for these, because that would be pretty cool. I also have to like find a little thing like to have like little knickknack stuff better displayed, because it would be nice to have more of a regular table for that. But these guys are really cool, and I like these. So cool little style, and they look great. Like especially this one, it looks so cool. Yeah, and anyone, yeah, if anyone remembers like where these guys are from, well, let me know, because I can't remember, but I know I've seen their looks in like multiple places, and they look great. So cool. And then also the robot. It's kind of crazy we haven't gotten like a full like a 6 or 7 inch figure of this. Oh, and I do want to mention the actual dome. I don't think it's supposed to come off, but it can like come loose on there, so that's kind of cool. But it is kind of like, I guess like the glue is kind of like subsided a bit, but nice little details, nice little figure. So thank you, Lou. You're awesome. One of the best out there. One of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. But yeah, cool little show ups there. Then we'll get on to our weekly pickups. Oh, one thing. I can't believe I keep forgetting about this. Okay. Actually, before we look at that, I will pull out my Mirage display to show off that Casey real quick. And then also I put what's her name? I've already forgotten her name. What's your name? Renette or Renee, whatever her name is. She's on the Mirage display now. So hold on, I'm gonna move some stuff. Move my turtles, Playmates turtles, my remastered from the box set. We're gonna move my stump wrestling turtles, and then we're gonna grab the remastered box. Oh, that's kind of heavy, but you can see this is where I have actually my whole Mirage line. So where I have that custom Mirage, a Leo, have the Super 7 Raph, have the first turtle design figures. They're kind of hard to see with the nunchucks, but and then we get into the full-on Mirage. So where we have Mikey there, we got April, we got Unmasked Casey, then we have Renette, and then we have that Casey Jones with the ultimate body count head sculpt on there. It's kind of hard to see. And then of course Shredder, your battle damage one in the blue. But yeah, but it's mainly about that Casey finally getting him together, and he looks pretty good. I do like the bright red color to him, so That's very nice. Maybe I'll even give him more of the weapons and then have the regular Casey have less weapons. I don't know. We'll kind of see what goes down. But one more thing I do also really want to talk about that I keep forgetting. But something I've been obsessing with, and a movie that I saw on Tuesday. Of course, it was Taco Tuesday at my local theater, where tickets are $6. Let me get back in here. All right. But where I went and saw Obsession, one of the newer horror movies that came out at the end of last month, I believe, on the 28th or 29th of March. Wait, no. May. Oh, wait, no, like end of May. Yeah, that's what it was. So it's been like almost, yeah, it's been over a month, I think, since this movie has been out. Because I saw Backrooms when that just came out, I think a month ago. Maybe like June. Well, I think Backrooms came first, and then it was Obsession next, I believe. But Obsession. Okay, we're about almost 12 minutes in, so warning cursing, because I'm an adult man, do what I want on my show. But holy fuck, that shit was crazy. I couldn't believe how fucking good and terrifying a movie can be. Just like, it's just another great horror movie, just kind of like just peak cinema. Like literally, like this is a film. This is not just a movie. This is a film. This is the definition of what you want to see in a theater, to have a movie experience and have an out of body kind of like experience and being uncomfortable. Well, not even like out of body. It's more of like inner body. So yeah, but Obsession, an amazing movie, a terrifying movie. I recommend it to anyone who's able to see it, who can stomach it, because a lot of violence, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, a lot of fucked up shit going on. Just amazing. It's so cool seeing just how like creative and like just how, I don't know, kind of like how just kind of like, I guess, ballsy a lot of these newer creators are. Like, I guess not really ballsy, but just like they have a vision. They have a clear vision and are making something new and unique and their own style that hasn't really been done before, but with like, themes and tropes that are pretty traditional when it comes to shows and movies. But Obsession specifically, it's just like it hits you. It is like a full, like, it's not even I wouldn't even call it like an anxiety attack. It's just pure anxiety and terror and fear, and it's amazing. So I love that movie. It literally the night that my buddy and I saw it, we were like outside of the theater just talking it up, just like kind of like just being like, what's going on with this world, what's going on with the whole like obsession thing, with the girl and with the guy and with the little stick thing, where he makes the wish. So it's crazy seeing how one kind of movie that seems kind of simple, because I remember, I think they played a little like teaser trailer or something, or like a trailer for it during the Backrooms, and I was like, that looks pretty good. I've been hearing good things about that. So I'm just like, oh god. But Obsession, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and that's kind of like the best way, I think, to get into it, is not knowing. Yeah, it's kind of, you want to know as little as possible, but it's just like, just yapping it up. I have to talk about this movie because it's just insane. Obsession is a masterclass, really, of like horror film, of like modern horror, of what's going on now. Like, this is like insanity. Like, it's like, yeah, you don't have to get to that like intense of a level, but it's kind of like, but it's just like, okay, this is this is probably one of the best movies of the year, like hands down. Like definitely like top five for sure, for sure. Maybe even top three. It's crazy. It's insane. Recommend it if you can see it and if you can take it. A lot of themes, a lot of adult themes. So it's like if people are kind of if you don't want to see SA as an SA, and you don't want to see kind of like I guess pure uh, manipulation and kind of like relationship, kind of like weird stuff going on, and it's just so weird, but it's like it's just so well done. And on top of that, it's a bit funny too, which is kind of nice. And then even like compared to like the Backrooms, I'm just like, oh god, because Backrooms like it's just such like a more bigger, crazier concept. While kind of like with Obsession, it's a little bit more kind of like honed in on one specific thing, but it also you know has its own kind of like depth to it. That's kind of like okay, it's like that makes you keep thinking, that makes you keep theorizing and trying to understand what's really going on in this world and with these people. So recommended greatly. Go see Obsession. I think it's like made all of its money back. I mean, this movie was made for like less than like $1 million, I believe. So it's like, what the hell? How is this less than $1 million? Like, this is like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much. And then I think it got bought for like $12 million. From whatever company I think that was like distributing it. So it's like, they've made, they've made their money hand over fist, and it's insane. Go see that movie if you're gonna see any movie. Yeah, and I think I said this too about the Backrooms, but like this time, like for real, if you want to see a top tier horror movie and you think you can stomach kind of like the worst of the worst, go see this movie. Obsession is amazing. It has great skill and talent. It looks great. Actors are all amazing, top tier, just so damn good. So damn good. So recommend it greatly. I can't believe that they just made this. They're just like, yeah, we'll just make Obsession. We're just gonna do that. Like, what the hell? Who asked? And they're just like, oh, we just want to do it. And I'm like, okay, I'll go see it. Yeah, at first, like I wasn't really planning on seeing it. I was like, okay, Obsession sounds good. From what I've heard, like I haven't like heard everything about it. From what I remember, I did watch like a podcast where they were talking about the Backrooms, and then they were talking about like Obsession first, but their main thing like was the Backrooms, I think. Yeah, that they were kind of like sticking with. But I was just like, okay, I'll go see Obsession because my friend invited me. He was like, hey, you want to go see Obsession tonight? And I'm like, another horror movie at late at night? That's like literally because I was like, I wasn't like struggling to sleep that night, but I was just like on edge. Like the moment I got home, and I'm like, okay, it's late, it's dark, everything's all shadowy, all the lighting's all dim, just like how in the movie. So it's like, ooh, it's like it just keeps an uncomfortable feeling. But one of my coworkers also saw it too, and so she, enjoyed it at least so far. So she was just like, okay, she's uh, uh, or I should say, she has seen it, and she's like, God, what the hell? And so we were just yapping it up today. Because I was just like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What about this scene? What about this moment? What about all of this? How far have you gotten? Kind of like, what's your, what's kind of like your take on these characters and kind of like what's been going on with them and like the whole like the ending and everything that goes on there, which is fucking bonkers. So yeah, just fun. Just a yeah, just an amazing movie. Like this is like pure like water cooler kind of like you won't fucking believe what I just saw. And it's kind of like everyone should go see this movie. Like literally, the day the day that my friend and I saw it, um, because usually on Taco Tuesdays and usually like for the theater and for movies that have been out for like a month or two, usually they peter out. You don't really get too many people, and we were like, okay, well, we'll just go to the theater. We'll just get our tickets and easily get a good seat and not have to deal with the booking fee online, which is always something bullshit. But whatever. But yeah, but it was like yeah, but when we got there, most of the seats were taken up. We were like, oh god, and we got like the third row back, so like row C, and we're like the first like two seats on the right side of the theater. So that like they're not like the greatest seats of all time, but it's like still pretty good. Like we got a good angle, everything's clear, and we were just like looking back at each other like, what the fuck? Like so many times, and we were just like kind of like having our reactions like to the characters, with Bear especially. God damn it, Bear, you you motherfucker. And then yes, like and then Nikki was great. Indy, I forget what her name is, but Indy, yeah, I know that that's an actress's name. She's amazing. Of course, like she's like true kind of star of the show, but yeah, the actor who played Bear, he did amazing too. And like for the character, and then you had the character Ian, he was good, and then the character Sarah, and then all the other cast as well. Everyone did amazing. Great set, great lighting, great effects, great story, just great all around, great directing. It's like even though I think they had to cut a bunch, oh well, not like a whole bunch, but like a fair bit. Like kind of like more. Oh well, not really like a whole fair bit because I think about like 80% of the movie's still there, but it's like you have more extended kind of like longer parts of scenes. Yeah, that would have gone a little bit longer, but they're just like cut out the fat, cut out a little bit of the fat. It's like okay, but it's just so good. Recommend it greatly. Oh yeah, and then yeah, I did get food. Yeah, during the movie too. Of course, it's kind of like it was like a 7 p.m. showing, so I was like, okay, I'll get dinner then. There, and I got like chicken tenders. I literally hate. I literally ate like half of my food because I was so like anxious and uncomfortable and just like, oh my god, and just so like fixated on this movie that I was like, I'm good. I only need like a fair amount of food. I don't need to eat the rest of this. I was just so distracted, I guess, by this movie. It was crazy. So yeah, so go see Obsession if you're able. It's amazing, and if it's still in your local theater or whatever. Great. Who wouldn't want to go see an awesome ass horror movie? That will scar you. Yeah, I mean it's not scarring, but it's like it just sticks with you. And I've heard people like watch this like multiple times, and I'm just like, that's insane. I've only seen it once, and I think I'm only gonna see it once. I don't need to see this again in theaters. I'm gonna be too terrified to see it. I'll be okay like seeing it at home, but even then, like seeing like the clips, I'm just like, God, because yeah, I personally feel that kind of like watching this for the first time will be a once in a lifetime experience. I think that that's an experience that I don't think you can really have. I mean, even still, I think it's gonna be whenever like I watch it again, I think it's still gonna be terrifying. I think it's still gonna be bringing me that tense feeling and like, God, what's going on? But in any case, it's great. It's amazing. I'm trying to remember what else of my points. Oh, what was it? I just had it and then it just left my brain. Oh, I will mention though, I did. Oh, we did actually get in there a little bit late. We thought that we had more time. We didn't. Um, but yeah, but so we missed the beginning, like the very beginning of the film where it's where it's Bear and Ian at the restaurant, and so we meant so we kind of missed that context there. So will say that that kind of like specifically like had our had a little bit missing. I think in our brain of being like, okay, this is what this is, but in any case, I don't think it really changed very too much of our mindset. But we're just like, okay, we missed something. Hopefully, it wasn't too much, even though it was, I think, a whole scene because it was like and I guess spoilers a bit, but for the beginning of the movie, but it was like Bear practicing his confession to Nikki, but with the waitress. Yeah, that at the restaurant. That him and Ian were at, and Ian's like, man, that's some pushy, that's some pussy shit or something. And he's like, that's shit. He's like, man, fuck you. I'm trying my darndest. And then I think like the waitress was like, oh well, how about you do this? And then and then Ian was like, no, fuck you too, go away. And so we missed like that. I think that whole part. So we kind of like got into the theater, when they were just chatting one on one. So pretty great though, amazing film. Definitely recommend. God, what an insane movie. I mean, because I still think about like Backrooms all the time. I mean, it's just iconic now. It's just crazy how well they do this. All right, but we're going to stop yapping about other stuff. We're going to get to toys. We got our weekly pickups. We got a few good things. We got a few cool little figures. So first thing, went over to Walmart, had nothing there. Went over to GameStop, had nothing really interesting me. But then I went over to Target, also to get groceries anyways too, on that day. And had a few things and had kind of like a few sales that I was like, oh, maybe it's time to pick up some of these figures that I was waiting on. But first thing they had was the new Mandalorian, Star Wars The Mandalorian, and Grogu. This little set here. So where you got Grogu with his little, like his Mando kind of shield kind of coin thing. And then with a little like eating fish, you got a little I think that's a drink or some kind of wrap food, and then also his little stick there. So got this little guy. Felt the need to, even has a nice little image there. He's so tiny. I wonder if he actually works with the integration of everything. It kind of looks like he could. But yeah, little Grogu had to get a new update. I know a lot of people are like it doesn't really matter, but I'm like I matter. I got the other, like, the regular, like, release of Mando and Grogu, from the movie, because I was just like, okay, it's on sale. I'm getting it. And then this, I was just like, I'm buying it. I think it was like $10. Like, kind of overpriced, but whatever. It's Grogu. I'm not going to complain too much about it. And then went over to their NECA section, and they had a sign where I think it said, buy 2, get 1 figure free, where essentially, like, they just... I think it's essentially like quarter everything, so where everything's like $20 essentially. But you still get like a figure for free. So finally picked up a few figures that have been like catching my eye a bit, but I was just like, I'll wait until maybe they do some kind of sale. But they don't really do too many sales of like NECA stuff at like Target or Walmart, and that kind of upsets me. I'm like, bro, can y'all like do some kind of sale? Because especially at my Target specifically, they got so much old stuff and so much is just sitting there. It's been sitting there for months, maybe even a year at the latest, or at the earliest. And I was like, guys, clear it out. Like, you gotta make room. You keep putting stuff here, but you don't got room. Put this shit on sale, please. And I probably know it's probably like a whole thing. The first thing I got was the Mirage Comics Shredder Battle Damage in classic colors. So where he's in the red, like how he was in the, in his original design that, wasn't black and white, but in the color version. If there, I think was, but same figure as the other one that we saw earlier. but just in the red. Also, I think has bare arms too, so he doesn't have the wrapped arms, or his arms just aren't blue. So, like have your original Shredder there. But I will say they did give him actually the red arms there, so that's interesting that they went with that. I think I am used to him with the bare arms anyway, so I think that's more accurate. But it's basically like yeah, it's like it's your same exact figure as the original one, but just in the classic colors. It looks very nice. And then I remember we got Karai and we got two of his foot ninjas there. Have the the foot enforcer and the elite guard. So the enforcer and the elite guard. So might be a stream of all four of these. At least maybe Shredder and Karai. I still need to get some actual like foot soldiers to go with these because they do have the regular Mirage ones in the red, and need at least two of those. So we'll see at that point. I'm not sure about what I'm gonna do with this thing. I might just get rid of it. I don't think I really need it. But like the like those comic colors, I don't know. We'll kind of see, but really cool. Gonna be nice to finally have this kind of classic Shredder, but y'all, desperate need of this not damaged. I know they did one like back in the day, and it was in like a box set or kind of like some kind of like exclusive. But like, come on, NECA, just do the thing. Get these guys out here, get them going. And to be continued, it has a it has an April, has like the Super Turtle, and then I think that's the kind of bigger kind of like foot soldier dude in black and white, which I'm like, okay, to each their own. But this Shredder looks great. He was kind of like the one I was kind of like, okay, I'll just get him because he's been sitting here because they had like 5 of them, but I think he was like the last one left because I think people have been picking him up because of that sale. And then also a figure that I was kind of like waiting on for sale, but a figure that I've been kind of like interested in, another Mirage Turtles in the box. That's kind of messed up to be honest. But Savanti Romero, kind of like this demon devil looking dude. So he's pretty cool. He looks sick. He was at the last one I think there too, so I was like, okay, I'll get him. Get him going. He looks pretty badass. He's some kind of like demon from the comics. So, and this was actually kind of a little bit earlier, I think, too, because you got your like your wanderer kind of turtle, and then you have the two like the special color foot soldier and foot enforcer. Yes, because that's the one I got right there. So he's in there. So he's in that line. I also do have the actual like the foot soldiers too, but they're in the corner, and I got 2 of those. But probably gonna get those classic colors so I can match up with those guys and then get rid of the rest. Because honestly, the all blue color doesn't really do too much for me. It looks cool, but I'm like, eh. But I'll open up most of these. But maybe I will keep those blue ones just to keep on display, just to keep this consistent. We'll kind of see, but cool to get a more unique character, a character that I'm not really used to. So this weird demon-looking dude. So look forward to it. And he has cool little bits there. He's got cool little effects and the thing, and then the goat feet, which is insane, or legs, I guess in this case. Very, very cool. And then last thing we picked up, actually the figure I was kind of like, I need to get her. She is a priority in my horror collection, and she was like the last one I think there. Well, maybe second to last, I can't remember. But finally picked up the Friday the 13th Ultimate Pamela Voorhees, where this is the first movie where she was the first killer in Friday the 13th, before Jason. So kind of really cool to see, really nice looking figure. It's nice to finally get an Ultimate Pamela. I've always wanted a Pamela Voorhees in my collection, because like watching videos from back in the day of the older NECA Friday the 13th figures, specifically with the different Jasons, and then Pamela set. And there's even, I think, a set that has like the shrine. I'm like kind of interested in that. I don't know if that's still available or not. But I was just like, God, maybe I should get that. But I was like, I know I don't have the space. I'm just like, oh, don't have space. Don't have space. Don't worry about it. But got space for Pamela. Because it's Pamela Voorhees. She comes with a bunch of stuff, like all the weapons that she uses. I kind of wish... I guess, yeah, I guess you could, but it's like, I kind of wish she had like a little, like a bloody, like a stump kind of thing. Kind of like a different neck piece, I guess you could do, or even kind of like head piece. So where her head's chopped off and she's like having her hands like, where's my head? My head came off. Kind of that whole thing. So it would have been nice to get that, but of what we're getting, all the different faces and looks, like they don't look perfect, but honestly, this is like as perfect as we can be. Yeah, she got the blue sweater and everything, got the paddle, got the machete, got the axe, got the bow and arrow, and the hunting knife, which I think is more of her actual weapon, but pretty cool. Pretty nice. Pretty sweet. So yeah, so nice to add a bunch of other figures to the collection. Of course, not like super top priority, especially when it comes to, what's your name? Yes, Avanti Romero. But Shredder was kind of like a long time coming, and then Pamela, for sure, was needed at the time. So I'm like, all right, you got me with this deal. I'll buy 2, get 1 free. I don't know which one I would consider free. In my mind, I guess it would be the Shredder, because he's kind of like the least unique one of the 3. But it's still Shredder. It's still a main character. Love my Shredder. Love my Turtles. Love my Mirage. Give me my classic Turtles. I always say that each time I'm talking about this line. I'm like, just give me those classic 2008 NECA figures, updated a little bit nicer. A little sturdier, maybe double joints if you can do it. I would love it. I'd buy it. I'd buy the fuck out of those. So yeah. I guess that's really it for what we're looking at. Yeah, what else do I want to say? I guess nothing else. Do kind of, oh yeah. Sorry, I'm itching. There we go. Hopefully this microphone is working out. I'm just so like paranoid about it because there's no one here on the stream right now, so unfortunately. So we'll kind of see what goes on. But we are, yeah, I know it's been like 40 minutes, but we're gonna finally get into our Jada Toys Mega Man. Looking at this figure. First time ever looking at Mega Man as a franchise. So I was kind of like ready to finally get this figure, have it in hand, and mess around with it. Just have some fun. I have seen, we're gonna get into the thing and I can talk about all the other figures I've seen from this wave. Besides Mega Man and what I might be picking up. So we'll see. I don't know if I will be picking up stuff though. I'll have to see. I'll definitely get the dog. I can't remember what his dog's name is, but I'm like, that's like the other one that I'm like, yeah, I need that. I need that. I like all like the bad guys. Maybe like 1 or 2 of them I'll get. But I'm kind of like, I kind of just want like the gang. Like I want the evil professor, Dr. Wiley, I think his name is. So it's like, yeah, give me that figure. Give me him. And then like the other like professor and then the girl. I can't remember. Yeah, what her name is. But yeah, and then also, yeah, the robot dog. Yeah, which we are getting, so I want to get that main gang. I want to show off this awesome figure. Another one from Jada. It seems like another banger, because this one actually came out, I think, earlier compared to now. 2024, 2025, 2024 even? I can't remember. We're just going to get into it. I'm going to keep yapping. we're going to switch over this camera. Look at Mega Man. Mess around and have fun. There he is, all the way down there. Up, up. There he is. Front and center. Looking pretty cool. Has your Mega Man logo here on the top of the box. If you're all blue with the lines going through, have like your health bar or meter there. Have the figure of all of its plastic glory. The packaging with the nice art there, kind of like anime style Mega Man, but still classic. Mega Man warning, attention, choking hazard on the side. Got a little 8-bit Mega Man from the first game. Very nice. Mega Man at the top, and then lines, codes have the same thing on the other side. Nice window. Other side there, so that's very nice. At the bottom, oh yeah, I got this at GameStop for $24.99. For all this, for a stand effect, a different head, and then 4 different hands, and then including the blaster hand. Like, not too bad. And I think the copyright, what was it? I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, it might be on the back here. But on the back, you do get Mega Man logo there with the lines. Get an actual nice little promo shot of the Mega Man figure with his little effect there. Kind of weirdly doing its thing there. But I guess that is accurate, I guess, to the game. Where it's like, it's more kind of like bouncing instead of like just shooting straight. But I don't know. But then you got Mega Man, you got Capcom. Copyright there. And this is, yeah, okay. Yeah, so this, it is a 2026 release, but this is the first line one. There's already been like, I think like 2 or 3. I think it's 3 lines at least so far, or at least like announced. So I'm not really sure what their distribution is, because I've seen a lot of the other first line figures, yeah, the first and second, I think, wave figures from this line. Why does this keep... Sorry, that's not cleaned up still. Sorry, Playmates tape. Still getting neglected. All because I don't have to move it. But I've seen the rest of kind of like these first 2 waves of these Mega Man figures, specifically at FYE. And I think even like at Target, I saw like Electric Man or something at some point, like one of these figures, like somewhere, even probably at Walmart. No, I don't think at Walmart. I don't think I ever saw those, but you know, it's kind of like, yeah, what's going on? What's the bomb? What's going down? So it's been weird with the distribution on these, but they had him all by himself on the shelf, so I had to pick him up, had to get him. Knew he was a steal to get for the time. Was, yeah, just felt like an iconic, like a video game character that I just had to finally get in the collection. Even though I've never really played that many Mega Man games, I'm just like, I love them because of videos and because of Marvel vs. Capcom, more specifically, because that's what I played. And even though Mega Man was more, I think, modern, kind of like more Mega Man X kind of thing there, I'm just like, this is still my Mega Man. This is what I think of when I think of Mega Man. This little dude, little robot costume or robot boy, and shooting his pistol thing. Well, his little blaster hand there. So, pretty cool. Nice figure. We're going to get this guy open. I don't even have my kit. I didn't even grab that. What am I, stupid? Hold on. I shall return. Hopefully not knock over my camera. I shall be smart about this. There we go. Kit acquired. Let me actually do this on camera. Cool. There we go. I'll zoom out a little bit. That might be a bit better. Yeah, that feels better. Now we'll get my get open here. We're gonna, of course, grab out our X-Acto blade. Very nice there. We'll make sure this is tight on there. There we go. Of course, just have some tape at the bottom. Open up there. Some actual little serial numbers. Here, let me sit down and actually do what I'm doing in front of me instead of on the side over here. But yeah, there's our stuff there. Cardboard flap. Get out of here. Okay, even the insert. Oh, that's my receipt. Okay, I just stuffed it in there. GameStop, I guess thank you for this figure. When did I get this? This was back in end of April. April 28th was when I got this figure. So that's crazy. And I even had, and I also had my Pro account, which has the 5% discount, so took off essentially essentially like most of the tax on it. So that was kind of nice for that. It was 23 and then I got $1 off, so it was only 25.16. It's like, okay, you saved $1.25. So not too bad. So with the tax and all even in there, it's like, okay, it works out, because usually it's like 25. So, but I think for with my Pro savings thing, it can help take off like 5% of that. So very, very nice, very good. So just ekes out just a 25.16. So what it would be probably before this time of age that we live in with these expensive ass prices in these stores. Well, GameStop is always overpriced. Not as bad as Fanfare, because no, not Fanfare. I love Fanfare. But, yeah, that's a local comic shop. Shout out to them. They're always cool. Oh, and also Lou's sister works there. So shout out to her, Steph. Shout out to Steph. She's always a cool freaking badass chick. And they also have their band together, so that's very fun. Because because she's in the Frogs and Toads. She's the keyboardist right now. So very, very cool. And Elliot, because he's the drummer. He's a fucking badass. He's always been a badass. He's just fucking cool. He's like the smoothest dude. And he has his own band, so check out all of them on Instagram. Go check out Queenie T and the Frogs and Toads on Instagram, because they're cool people. And they're always cool to look for figures with and get figures of stuff with them. So, yeah. Alright. Gonna get into this. Here's our empty box. Very cool, very nice. Probably gonna keep this whole box. Just like how we did with Street Fighter, so where I kept Ryu and then the rest of it would just cut out. So we might just do that. But then here's our little insert piece, which is like in all kind of red and orangey and yellow, kind of like this Matrix kind of thing, but has like cubes and stuff that are like floating in the air, little stuff happening. There's a big laser thing. I don't know what this is. It's not familiar to me, but it's cool looking. It's just art. I don't know if I'll really keep that. It doesn't really do nothing for me, but we'll see. Then finally getting to our Mega Man there and all his plastic glory. Looking pretty sweet. So we'll try to get out our stuff. So there's our stand. We'll just get into that, I guess. So there's our stand. Very nice there. It does have one little, there we go, one little paint scuff. That's actually on my nail now. Hello, nail. Get rid of paint, please. Thank you. But yeah, there's your kind of like your standard kind of like effect stand that they do for a lot of their effects for Jada. Okay, and then the actual arm for it does have a little band around it, so we'll use Mr. Snippy or Mr. Snips. Get that going there. I'll try not to damage the actual figure. Very nice. We're gonna try to get this part out. I hate having these little plastic bits loose up and all over the place, but ooh, there we go. So there's our arm there. Very nice, all clear. Has your metal screws there, and then it has some actual divots, but articulates there and there, so goes up and down and all that jazz. So the stand plugged into there. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's like yeah, it can be either end. It doesn't really have to be each one, but as they show, it should be like this, I guess, kind of. I'll have it like that for now, just for dynamic sakes and hopefully accuracy. Always a nice little stand that they include here. Next, we'll get out. Oh, that just came off easily. We'll get out the alternate hands. Use me, y'all. So there's our alternate hands. You get a left, kind of like, I guess, kind of like holding hand. I guess for your blaster there, or your arm cannon, and then a more splayed out hand, but you do have your two middle fingers kind of sculpted together, and then your grip hand there, but kind of actually like it's kind of like dull on the outside. Well, not really much with this hand, but it's very shiny, very glossy, but looks very clean. And then those little cartoonish proportions. Oh, thank you, but thank you who has ever tuned in and liked the video. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us live. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know. You can hear me by by putting a thumbs up in the chat. Appreciate it. But yeah, moving on. I guess we'll get to little blast effect here. I don't know if this is supposed to be like some kind of like plasma or like kind of like a little like a beam, or supposed to be like fire or something, but this is a super nice little piece. It's super clear, as you can see, in that clear resin kind of thing going on here, and like a yellowy thing here, and then little, I guess there's like a little like a faded kind of like kind of, it looks like a spray kind of like white piece. So that's very cool. That's very nice. The hole in there, it does have a hole for the stand right there. So very, very cool. Little top heavy, but there you go. Looks very, very clean, very nice. Like it a lot. And then I like how the light kind of shines through it too, so kind of see how your background can elevate it to look. I think it's okay. So probably like in regular light, it's more yellowish instead of like orange, but just with this, it seems a bit more orange in this kind of lighting here, but looks great. Looks amazing. Looks awesome. Then we have the hand cannon working here. Pretty cool. I'm gonna check something. Wonder. I don't know. I wish I could like just put it in the chat. Yeah, it's kind of like a weird like doing like horizontal videos, like how they like limit you to like so much compared to vertical. It's like it's so weird. I'm like, what do you mean you're not letting me do like half the shit that they can do on there? Like, this is a live stream, a video. But yeah, but here's our little arm cannon attachment here. Your different essentially hand here, but all glossy blue, has the kind of like the hexagonal, I think it is, shape there at the end with the red dot. It's a little bit off. You can kind of see at the bottom. It's you can see that blue, peeking through, but I'll say it's not really that noticeable and not really that bothersome. But then have your yellow, kind of like your squares on the side in a rectangle there, and then just your, and there for the actual articulation. So very, very cool to have. Then you have your alternate headpiece, which is him being a little bit grumpy. He's like, oh, he's like, I'm having a tough time, or I'm getting serious, or something. Has the blue little pieces on the side, kind of like the cylinder, kind of, I wouldn't say cone shape, but kind of cone shape, but have that little divot with the same red, and then the lines around to make those squares. Then have the big kind of like square piece on the helmet on the front, and then with the mohawk kind of thing going on the back. And then of course the main helmet in that darker blue, and then these bits all in that lighter blue. It's very nice. It even has three little kind of like, it looks like air vents, I guess I would call them, kind of like little holes there on the back in all black. And then have your skin tone that actually goes to the top of the kind of like the neck piece there. So it's kind of like a whole insert head, and then have those kind of like those bright blue, kind of like dark, oh well, they're kind of dark blue eyes. Kind of actually matches with the helmet a little bit, but of course it's matte, so more cartoonish. It's not as shiny, but this looks so good. And then love like the line details, it's pretty clean. And then of course the teeth and then the eyes all painted there. So very, very cool. Very nice. And then we'll finally get the figure out of here from his prison. We can use our snippers here. We're gonna be careful, and I don't think there's anything else, thankfully, on this figure. So get him out. There we go. Careful not to lose all my trash. Speaking of trash, there's our plastic. Also, gotta mention, they don't come with a safety paper, which is very nice compared to Hasbro in some cases. Well, in all cases. It's kind of like, stop wasting extra paper just to be like, oh, it's safety. Like, brother, I know it's not safe for kids under 3 or 4. You put that on the box like 3 different times. They get it. If people aren't reading it, then they're just stupid. Stop wasting the extra paper to make those stupid Hasbro papers, because they just get thrown to the ether. They're not something. Example, GameStop. Ether. You don't exist anymore. You're garbage. But then you got like paper like Odyssey, like a ticket. I'm like, brother, I'm keeping this. This is good paper. It's good to have a little ticket collection. So very cool to actually use paper for a purpose, for a physical purpose. So yeah, instead of like just being trash around other trash, warning you about the plastic inside of it, or technically even in some cases trash inside of it. But this ain't trash. This is premium quality Jada right here. Does have one little dot here that's kind of annoying, but overall this dude is clean as hell. Has the same exact details as we saw with the previous head, but it's just smiling, has a little smirk. You look so happy. See there, and even with the eyes. Oh yeah, and then these are a little bit more sunken in, and then this one is just all big and wide-eyed, happy looking, with that all glossy paint there with the red parts on the side, and then ports on the back with the actually connects to the connects to a gray colored neck. I guess that makes sense because he is a robot boy, so I guess that part's like maybe real, like his face and his head, but most of them it's just kind of like a robot. So you have the costume details continue there. You have this darker blue kind of rim that kind of matches with the helmet there. Well, it actually is kind of like its own kind of like blue there. So a different kind of blue, yeah, for the around the neck, around the collar, I should say. And then the actual, like the costume and shirt is a lighter blue, kind of here on the torso, and then on the upper arms, and then on the lower arms have these kind of like these bigger, shinier armored gauntlets here. And then his fists are kind of like, yeah, they do actually look more gloved here. So that's actually kind of nice that they're a little more rounded out there and look like an actual like a glove that he's wearing instead of like a regular human hand. And then the crotch piece kind of have the same kind of blue, I think, with these guys. Yeah, it's the same exact blue and all shiny and goes around there. So very cool, more armor look. And then have these, yeah, for your joints there. It is like, it's not that glossy plastic there, but it's still pretty decent. It works all right. Yeah, it does feel a little more purpley than it does the actual color of the crotch piece there, but you know, it would have been nice if they could do that, but if they just weren't able, it just didn't make sense. I get it. And then at the top of the thighs, though, you do have another kind of like a rim or around the thighs that kind of matches with the collar there. And then that baby blue, kind of like that very light blue that matches with the body, and then also ties into the there, and then also ties into here as well. So makes sense. And then these big ass boots for this small boy. Yeah, for this mega boy, this mega man. But kind of matches up with the gauntlets on there because they're a bit more angular and rounder, kind of mirror each other. And then these big old shoes that have these little boosters at the bottom. Very nice. You still have all your copyright details, but Jada Toys, UK, Canada, CE, Capcom, China. Doesn't actually say the year, which is interesting, but I guess it makes sense because this did. Oh man, I do have a few actual defects there. That kind of sucks. Kind of like has like a big old paint glob here, and then has a like a mold kind of glue kind of thing going on here. Also a little bit of dirtiness right there. Kind of sucks that that's not all super clean, but you know, majority of the time he's gonna be here. He's gonna be looking front and center, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. But feels really smooth out of the box and just looks great overall. And it's still like majority like pretty clean when it comes to actual paint and detail. So very nice, very cool. At the head, I think it's just a ball at the top of this neck. I wonder how hard it is. Okay, but it actually is a actual like a rod with a with a disc in there, and then a ball at the bottom of the neck. So it's actually going to be easier to. Should be easier to swap heads then, because then it just comes straight out. So that's a lot easier there. But your head can go up about that far, including the neck. Come down nearly like his chin to his chest, like essentially, and then tilt with the bottom of the neck. Very nice. And then rotation there too, very nice. At the shoulder, hinge that goes about that far, comes down, goes around. You have a single jointed elbow here. Hinges about that far. Have a rotation there at that swivel there. Then rotation at the hand and a hinge in and out there. And that's going to be, I think, for all of them except for the cannon, but we'll get into those. Yeah, that's side to side, and then that one is also side to side. And then at the torso, you have a mid-torso joint there, and then I think also a ball at the waist, I believe. So you can come back not that far, not too bad. It goes forward. Not very much. Tilt side to side, but rotation. Yeah, you can actually do that at the top, so that's very smooth. And then even there with the with the actual waist, and then I don't know if there's very much else for this guy. I mean, he can get that far back, maybe that far forward, so a little bit better, but not too much. And then at the legs, kick forward about that far, kick back about that far. Is my mic working? If you're tuning in live, can you please let me know if my mic is working? I want to make sure, because I don't want to freak out and have to like do a whole stream, because people keep popping in and out. So let me know if my mic is working. Mic working? I gotta make like a sign or something just in case. But yeah, but leg is kicking out about that far, going in, forward, back, actually pretty far, not too bad. Does have a upper thigh cut, of course, there. Single jointed elbow, knee. Excuse me, that's an elbow. This is the knee. Oh, I didn't even notice actually on here at the little ends there's actually a little cut there too, so where it's actually a different kind of like supposed to be like a different like piece attached. That's actually nice, and that ties into the collar and everything too. So, god damn, the detail, so good. But that hinges about that far at the knee. Got rotation there as well, and then at the actual foot, you only hinge forward about that far, kind of just forward, and then hinge back. That far, let's do forward again. Yeah, just kind of just straightforward. But you do have I don't think you do have an ankle rocker. Which, oh wait, no, you do. It's just pretty stuck. But yeah, nice pivot. But this guy's got big, flat feet, so it shouldn't be too hard to get him to stand up, even if it's more action-oriented poses, or like just crouching and doing stuff, but not too bad, not too shabby. We'll get his accessories going. I definitely want to get his cannon arm. I'm trying to remember. I believe it's the left arm or the right arm. It's the right arm. Okay. I think, is it also that one? Well, it can be either, I guess. I don't know which one I probably prefer. I do kind of like the idea of there we go. So I do like the idea of him having the arm cannon and then using this. Uphold the weight. Gives it just a little bit, I guess, more, like, not realistic, but a little bit more, I guess, expected kind of thing. See if I can get him in a solid pose. I do kind of wish he did have butterfly joints, but, you know, like, it kind of makes sense with this. Yeah, with this smaller figure, that you can't put every single joint that you really want into a Mega Man figure, but already, he's already got a little scratch there on the boot, too. I don't know if that was just there. Yes! Yo, Gabe, can you hear me? Justin, Gabe, what's up, bro? How's it going? We got Mega Man here. You're just in time. Can you hear me? Oh, God. And thank you for the like. Oh, I'm always so nervous. I'm anxious. Yes, I can. Thank God. Thank you, Gabe. You're like the first one. I've already had like 2 people come in. They don't tell me nothing. But you're here to save the day. Welcome, Gabe, as always. But there's our Mega Man. Looking pretty sweet. We're going to bring our camera down. But if you need me to update you on the stuff we got, Gabe, I don't mind doing that for you. No problem. Thank you. I'm going to zoom in a bit because he's just all by his lonesome. But I will tell you one thing, because I know you saw Backrooms, and I was talking about that earlier, but I saw Obsession, if you've seen that one yet, Gabe. Really, really, really great film. Crazy horror film. I definitely recommend that movie for sure. But there's our little Mega Man, kind of like the way that I imagine him, and then using... Okay, yeah, but Gabe says, oh, I haven't. Well, fair warning, it's a lot. It's very intense. I don't want to see naked people. I mean, lol. I mean, I think you'll I think there's like a one scene where someone's like naked. Most of the time they're clothed, but it's just weird gory shit, to be honest, going on. And just super like just keeps you tense. But it's an awesome film, and I recommend it if you like a lot of your horror, if you like intense horror as well. Because seeing that movie, I was like, oh my god, I'm like, I can't believe that they're doing this, but I might watch it eventually. Hey, I recommend it. Any way you can watch it, watch it. Any way you feel comfortable or when you're ready, bro. Because I've been talking with my coworkers about it, because one of my coworkers she saw it recently, and so it's nice to kind of like have someone else to bounce off of, because I did see it with one of my friends too, and we were just yapping about it. But Gabe says, I want to make a horror movie, actually. That would be sick. I mean, it's definitely possible, especially in this industry. I mean, you got because you have Obsession, which was made by Curry Baker. Is that his name? If I'm wrong, apologies, Curry, but you're really cool. It would be a psychological horror. That's kind of what this is too. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Well, it's kind of more magic, but also kind of psychological as well. But psychological horrors are great. They're literally like some of the scariest stuff that you can be. Yeah, there won't be a monster. I get that. Yeah, but it's like Obsession is just like crazy. But yeah, but the director, he was a YouTuber. More of a comedy skit guy. And then even the Backrooms guy, of course, Ken. He's done his whole thing on YouTube because of the Backrooms. Of course, see these younger dudes doing their thing. Well, there will, but it won't show on screen. Oh, okay. It's up to the audience's imagination. You know what? And that's what a lot of these horror movies are about, Backrooms with the trying to like understand what's going on with that world and be like, what the heck? How deep does this go? And then kind of like the thing with this one where it's just kind of like what's going on with people's consciousness and kind of like what's the morality of this? What's the effects of this? And what's going to happen to these characters? It's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot of crazy horror stuff, and it's also good. Horror is eaten well, and they're doing good in the theaters, because our theater was like packed, surprisingly, because I think like because I think that Backrooms came first, and then Obsession was like a few days later, I think. But I'm not sure. Gabe says, you see Backrooms, everything must go. Is that what the YouTube series? Is that what that is? I haven't seen it, if anything. I've only seen just the Backroom movie. I still haven't seen any of the original Backroom stuff. I gotta get into it. But analog horror for me, like, has never really like clicked too much with me. Like, I've seen that it's good, but I'm just like, I just don't want to sit down and watch it. Kind of like, I'll see, but I'll have to research what you're talking about, Gabe. No, it's in theaters, or Everything Must Go. I don't know. Oh, is that like a whole like extended? Is that like an extended edition? It would make sense because I know that there's even gonna be a director's cut of Obsession at some point. Because let's just like, yeah, of course, there's like more stuff that they can give us, more lore and stuff. And that's like 15 minutes to the original. Yeah, okay. I think that's kind of like about like what was cut out of Obsession, about like 15 minutes or so, like 20 or so minutes of just like more character stuff and extra scenes or whatever, and like dialogue. So like just little stuff here and there. Well, that's pretty good though. It's nice. So I guess I'll kind of like watch that whenever they release it digitally or streaming, whatever it is. But yeah, so pretty cool. I do. Or it's like, bro. Very cool. But this Mega Man, he's super cool. He's very, very nice. This is kind of probably how I'm gonna have him the whole time. I'll try out his different head, at least. I would just like Gabe says, I would say just search it on YouTube. That's what I did. Okay, makes sense. I mean, because they'll upload everything they can, so I'll be looking into it. Well, that's cool. Like they have like extra stuff there. I didn't really even. I forgot if they did. If I even knew that. Oh, getting this other head on here is gonna be a challenge. There we go. I'll just give him his fist back, or I'll even, because they do show this. Okay, it's like the hazmat people before the beginning of the movie. Okay. See, I missed like a little bit of that too. It's kind of like both kind of like Backrooms and like Obsession. Like both my friends and I like missed the very beginning of it. Like we were just running late for it. Like we're like timing like down by the wire, so yeah, so I gotta look at that whole scene again too, because it's crazy, but actually this is pretty good. But here's our Gabe says, I gotta go somewhere, Justin. Sorry. Oh, you're all good, bro. I'm just glad you came by and hung out for as long as you were able. Appreciate seeing you, Gabe. But man, yeah, just to tell you, I can't wait to get that Haya GMK or some kind of Haya figure, Godzilla at some point, or any kind of Godzilla figure. Yes, I bet every time I see you, I'm just like, it reminds me. I'm just like, I need to get it. Bye-bye, Gabe. Thank you for joining, bro. But look at this Mega Man. This is actually a pretty good... See, I kind of like this. You can even use the effect there. It's a little short, to be honest, but more so forward there, but there he is. All his plastic glory. I should get him more Like, oh, it's like, okay. Yeah, where he's like against a wall or kind of like backed up into a wall. And he's just shooting. He's like, do 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 do. He's like, man, it's getting real crazy here. But this guy looks so cool though. I like him a lot. Love this little Mega Man. Very, very simple, but just very iconic. Looks so good. I might just keep, I guess, this on. And I will say that the wrist peg holes definitely get bigger once you put this guy in there. It feels like a bigger peg because that does, like, it does click in there, so it's not going to fall out, but you can feel there's a lot more space. It's not as open as it was when it originally had the hand. Yeah, yeah, just your regular hand in there, so. They're very cool. I guess, oh yeah, I want to get them more straightened out, I guess. That's my whole point of doing this, but I'll do his smiling head. Definitely, I think, prefer that for right now. Really try and get this thing working for me. Trying to see what it's supposed to. Okay, so that is accurate there. Maybe I should do the other side. I think it just looks more natural that way. Oh, God. And I'm worried I'm going to be breaking this wrist peg too. Feels more fragile compared to the rest, or it's just the fact that these wrists are so tight. Around this accessory, so it's like it's a little scary. But I do like seeing the yellow streak piece there, so that's very nice always. But there we go. But there's our little Mega Man. I think he's pretty cool. Pretty nice. Wish my camera would focus on him. Stay on him. He looks great. Awesome figure. Recommend it greatly. It's just so cool. It's so awesome. Can I get you a little more? There we go. That feels better. There we go. Well, there's our Mega Man. Looking neat. Looking sweet. Still need to get a different padding of some sort. Yeah, of some sort for this stream. Keep forgetting about it, but kind of flooring. But looks pretty awesome. Pretty nice. Then, now we'll finally get into our comparisons here. So I will have to, definitely have to zoom out a bit. Move this up here. I'm all lined up there. We're gonna grab a few things. Oh, excuse me. Off to the races we shall go, and I'll do one more. Rise. I mean, he looks so tiny, but but it just works for him. He's Mega Man because he's always a little short and stout, well, classic wise, but you know, it's a bit different. So first thing I do want to compare is with his actual effect piece. Clearly not centered. But here's his effect piece compared to the Ryu Hadouken. I think it is a Hadouken. I can't remember. But that blast effect there, so you can see how different style-wise they are. And, of course, height there. And even if you want to use this for Mega Man, this could work. Also as an effect, even with the with the one for Ken. It's a bit bigger, so if you want to do like a super charge kind of, I guess, attack, that'd be pretty cool. But then you have like your standard kind of pellet size. So that's pretty fun. And then for actual figure comparisons, first we're going to get a couple ones from the Jada Street Fighter line. Because I don't really have that much other Jada figures. I think it's mainly these. I keep forgetting if I have another Jada figure somewhere from a different line. I believe not. I don't think so. We're gonna get our two main Street Fighter characters that I would really show off in these were, of course, have Ryu from the Street Fighter 2 line. Let me get that going. There we go. That feels way better. Then have Chun-Li kind of in their basic poses. I don't know why I thought that they would be looking a little lower for some reason, but there they are. Looking pretty sweet. I don't know why. Here, I'll have her like that. That feels more natural for Chun-Li. But there she is in there. He is. Really, really cool figures. Definitely looking forward to completing this line here now that they have everything. And next, we will bring in the man himself, Mario. Of course, getting to our, keeping with our video game characters. Of course, with the video game stuff going on there. And then we got Princess Peach, other humanoid type characters. Of course, these are the ones that follow you with the eyes. So, and these are the movie ones, so they're a bit bigger. But at least for me, I think they're fine. I think they work. I think this is kind of like what I think of when I think of Mega Man, because he's more of a kid. A little scrawnier, and different world. So I think different kind of style of what's going on here. These figures. But they still work. And then have the movie Sonic. Movie 3 Sonic. From Jack's Pacific, which is also the same that made the Mario ones. And then, of course, Shadow. Here too. Get him into there, so definitely work out, definitely look great. together. Even I think more so with Mega Man. I think they're a better pairing compared to the Mario ones. Even though has Mega Man been in Smash Bros? I don't think so. I don't believe so. I feel like that would have been a big thing if. Oh, maybe he is in there. He might be in. Is Mega Man on Smash Bros? Does anyone know? Who's here live? Would like to know. But gotta check it out. And then continuing on with more video game characters. Well, I know at least one of these guys is in Smash. Two. And this, okay. This other character is in Smash technically, but I don't think it's represented that accurately, even though, like, I get it. I get the aesthetic, but we got Steve here. I am Steve from the Diamond Collection. I think that was Mattel, I believe. Hold on. What do you say? What's under your head? Is that Mattel? Made in Vietnam. The 2021 Mattel, yes. So yeah, so Mattel's Diamond Collection. Steve, and then their Diamond Collection. Enderman, who's way freaking big. Yeah, but different video game styles going on there. Very, very nice, very cool. Figures there. Look great. Look great with this Mega Man. He's going to look great on this video game shelf, of course. Then, here we'll keep the camera out for a bit, for a minute. So then we're going to bring in our Hasbro Fortnite figures. We have a few of those. Even I think one that's a Jax Pacific, I think one's too. But there's your one, one of your Hasbro ones from the Astronaut 2-pack. I can't remember what they were called, but they're cool. They're just regular human type characters. I have the male, and then I think this next one is this. Oh yeah, so this is Jazzwares. I keep forgetting about Jazzwares, but this is Jazzwares Toys Fortnite. You got the this little cat on this giant robot thing. It just like it just looks so cool. I just love this figure so much. I originally had him with my with my Ninja Turtles, but as time went on, I was just like, he belongs in the more miscellaneous shelf, and that's where he went to with the other Fortnite figures. So, looks great. Cool little other video game stuff there. I'll grab out our dude, and these actually kind of complement each other pretty well. A nice contrast. But then I will bring out our is this Hasbro? No, this is also Jazzwares. This is like peak Jazzwares. But this is the kind of like the Gundam, kind of like a chicken figure, which in my mind is kind of like perfect for Fortnite. I forgot that this was even a thing. In the game, it just feels like such an awesome figure and awesome design. I'm just like, I just want this figure. And it looks great. Looks amazing. Looks pretty neat with this Mega Man. Get back to that. And then, of course, thinking about Marvel vs. Capcom. This down a little bit. We are grabbing. Okay. So this is my main Captain America on my classic shelf, kind of like my favorite Cap figure at the moment. I do have the Gamerverse 2-pack. I haven't opened it yet, the one with Venom. So, at some point I'll definitely be opening that soon, but haven't as of yet. But we have the Secret Wars Captain America. There he is, all smiles. I love me a happy Captain America. And then we got the X-Men 97 Wolverine with the VHS head on it. That is my main display Wolverine on my X-Men shelf, as you can see. Right there, because that's where he was. He was just sitting right here next to Rogue, and then he gets over in here. So bringing out some X-Men, so pretty cool. Nice pairing of figures. I don't have the Game Reverse set of this because I just don't need it. Because what? It's him and Silver Samurai, I believe. And the Silver Samurai, I just don't need. I do like the design of the Marvel vs. Capcom Wolverine, but this still does me just fine. I'm not in need of it, but these look great. These look really, really cool with them. I can just, if only I can get him to looking the way I want to. I like that. Okay. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. And then going on to more, I guess, cartoonish characters in my mind, because I kind of struggled a bit to figure out what to bring for this comparison, but I'm just doing ones that kind of make sense in the mind. A lot of the miscellaneous and majority of my video game shelf, kind of like in themes. This actually do need to get a new one up too. I need to get a better figure, but I do have, despite the hate for the company, I do got the mouse, Mickey himself. If I can get this working here, but this is, I forget what way, what toy line this was, but this was like a Disney Store exclusive figure, more of like a, I guess, kind of like sort of classic, but more modernish interpretation, kind of like kids cartoon version. And then got Pluto, because I think they were a 2-pack, or you could get them individually, I forget, but I got them. Need to get me, I think they do have a Donald and a Minnie and probably a Daisy. I don't know if they got a Goofy though, but I do need to get a new one because mine does have that little paint scratch there. And even I gotta see if there's even just a better, like, Mickey Mouse and Friends figures. Mickey Mouse and the Gang, Donald, Goofy, Minnie, and Daisy. And I don't know for like Goofy. I guess it's like the one cow chick. I forget what her name is. I've seen her like a few times. And then Pete. Gotta get Pete. Gotta have Pete. Love Pete. Maybe even the rabbit. I forget his name. He's pretty cool. The next comparison is still kind of like cartoonish, but we're going with kind of like just sticking with villains and getting into Ninja Turtles. Have the NECA animated series Baxter Stockman here or there. I felt he kind of worked here because he's kind of short and stout, has like a little bit of like a gimmick going on there. He's a fly man, if you will. He's not just a robot, but he's an organic man. But then getting with turtles and getting with robots, grab the android Krang body here. I guess I could have done the regular Krang that has the little robot body. I could have done that, but I preferred to grab this one. But kind of see what's going on there, and I kind of actually do like that pairing of these two as well. Pretty fun with Baxter here. Love this figure. I love this figure so much. And then our final comparisons, getting some more video game weight stuff here, but getting our villains specifically from Mario that I have. We got, maybe this won't be my last comparison. I think I have actually, I can do that, and then I can do, where is it? Hold on. Here, I gotta look for a second just to make sure I'm not losing my mind. There's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. I could do you, but I don't really care to. Is there anything else? I'm trying to remember when I could do that. No. Okay. Okay, we're gonna bring in Bowser Jr. Of course, Mario Galaxy. Kind of way bigger than him. Kind of actually feels more out of scale, but then gotta bring in the big man. Have at least one villain for our video game characters, and biggest one and baddest one, Bowser. Of course, these are the movie figures. This one has the water thing you can put in there, but cool, just giant monster figures that kind of work with this guy, even though they don't really scale at all with him because they're actually kind of big compared to the rest. But still cool, still neat figures. There goes Bowser Jr.'s thing. Why can't he just hold it? They should put like a peck hold or something in his hand. We can actually hold it. I want to do one more. I'll do one more. Hold on. Just for fun, just to throw in here. Do I want to get a second figure? I don't know what else I could get. Oh, I could get. Okay, I'm gonna do this then. I'll get these two. Not prepared for this guy, but making sure he's as good as he can look right now for camera. You need to get a do one of this one, but yeah. First, we're gonna bring out the Endo series. Freddy Fazbear. Course, son. Course, sir. Hold on. Please stand. But you know, video game character robot, of course. I don't even know why I even actually didn't show this earlier. Like, this should have been in the original lineup anyways. Because this is a video game robot character. Anthropomorphic. And then to get to more to the anime side of it, bringing in Kid Goku from Dragon Ball. This is the first one that SH Figuarts did that had the Nimbus Cloud and the 4-star Dragon Ball. It's like that more kind of like orangey, kind of with the light blue. But I definitely want the red one. I need to get that other one. But this one's still pretty good. It's good. It's got the powerful. I did drop the 4-star Dragon Ball, and it's at the bottom of the pile. I have to get to it one day, but today's not the day. But I do got him on the Nimbus Cloud. That's where he is. But my whole Dragon Ball setup is like decimated, so it's gonna be a bit until I can actually like display stuff properly again. Because I'm just like I just don't want to deal with it. It's just not working in my mind right now. I'm just like, I just fixed this. It looks great. It was good for a while, and then everything went to shit. So, in due time, Dragon Ball will make a comeback at some point. But haven't really been too big on it recently, so it's like, we'll get to it. But yeah, but very, very cool. A very nice figure. I'll get him more right there. Yeah. I guess I can just start doing my thing here. I guess I can do what I want to do. Well, you're going to be a front runner now. You're also going to be a front runner. Well, or something like that. And then that. Casey, get out of here. You are not needed. Guess I could do 2 on the side, 2 on the other side, 2 on that side, 2 on this side. That would be pretty good. Okay, we're gonna do that then, because I got a lot of pairs going on. So I'll have Chun-Li here, Excuse me, madam. Pretty good. Got Ryu. I'm looking at my camera. Zoom out, zoom in a bit. I want to get my angle right on these guys. Now, Peach. Get Mario in here. Cool. I'll bring in Sonic on this side. Bring in Shadow back there with Peach. Not peeking through. Give him more of a window there. Then stomach growling. We'll get good Kid Goku in here, I think. Like in front of Ryu a little bit. Oh. Not too bad. Then we'll get Steve. We got Enderman up there. He barely fits, that's fine. Then I want to just bring in, I guess I'll put Freddy here. Kind of wanted to put him, I guess, over here in the back, in the middle. That just felt more right because he's by himself. He doesn't have anyone else with him right now. I do got Bonnie, but I gotta open up that at a later point. I got that scheduled for later on. If he can look straight at the camera, that would be very nice. Then fill out the rest. More specifically, I'll go for the Fortnite Chicken Gundam. Also bringing in this. Oh, there they went. Dropped the cat. Because I grabbed it by the cat because I'm stupid. Oh. Oh. Hope. Chicken guy's good. Chun-Li. Oh. Gotta fit back in. I think I may have went for a ride for a second. Still pretty good. Hold on. I'll center him up a bit more. I should move Steve back a bit. Oh no. Let me get Freddy back in here. Our middle point's Freddy, so Freddy's pretty good there. I don't know, or should I go like this? No. Because that's okay, that's fine. It's just Goku should throw it off. Because that looks great. Yeah, that looks perfect. Yeah, we'll just move this back. Goku over here. See, that feels more natural. That feels better. Then we'll get one more. Should I put Goku and then put Steve at the end here? Give Goku Enderman in the back because Enderman is so freaking big. Approach is kind of here. There we go. That feels pretty good. Let me get Freddy more. Look in there, and then just throw in Captain America in the back. And Wolverine. Well, you don't even see. You even get Mickey? Might as well. Get the mouse in there. There he is. It's actually not too bad. It works pretty well. Maybe I should do, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to make this setup as perfect as I want it. So do this, do that. And then have Goku at the corner here. Bro. Goku, chill out, bro. Look at that. Get the Enderman in a little bit more. There we go. What a lineup. So far, let's get Freddy back in here too. Bring in Goku a little bit more. I can maybe even lower this a bit and then do like that. Yes. That feels much better. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. That feels good. That feels right. Get Cap. Smiling in there. We're going to get... What do I want to do? Actually, can I get Captain America just over here? Because he might work better. Because that makes sense. Because Marvel vs. Capcom. Then we'll try to get this giant cat thing in here. Continue with Fortnite? I mean, it makes sense. Or at least add one more Fortnite figure, to be fair. One of the knees is kind of little loosey goosey. So he's not the most stable cat. And they do have peg holes, so I should probably get a stand for this guy again. I mean, he's been standing like pretty well, so it's only been like more recently like this. It's been probably a challenge, but that's alright. I don't think he's gonna make it through the whole stream, but at least he can stand for right now. And then what do I want to do? I'll get Krang's Android body in here, I guess. I might call it good. That's kind of big, kind of heavy. Don't you dare, cat. Actually, how big is this Krang? Is he even gonna be in frame? No. So we're not gonna do that. That's it. This might be it. I don't want to get Baxter in here somehow, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Oh, he's like buzzing around, but that's all good. Okay, I'm going to do the cat guy in the back here next to Freddy and them. Man, this knee is not great. Man, this figure does not stand super well. I'm also going to take these out of the equation because I'm just tired of it, and also this came off. But there he is. Oh, his plastic glory. I might put him a little more further this way. I think he's gonna stay a bit. Okay, that looks a bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna call this good. I'm not gonna mess with this anymore. So thank y'all for joining me for this live stream. Hope y'all had a good time. I had a pretty good time. It was nice coming back to this. Again, apologies for no shorts. They're coming. I just gotta get them done. Just been busy, so apologize. So apologies. But love this Mega Man figure. Was a long time coming. Been needing this figure for a while now, so it's nice to finally get a really good one in hand. Kind of classic. So yeah, hope y'all have enjoyed. Be sure check out my Instagram, Justin the Zilla. Hopefully we'll have a new picture by the 20th of this month. It's gonna be a bit to figure out what to do still, but can't wait for it. Be sure to like this video, comment what you want to see here on this channel, and subscribe. Of course, if anything, subscribe, please. I appreciate all the support. Thank you for the 2 people who like this, people who are viewing this live. We're going to shout out our top fans. Oh, excuse me. thing there. But our top fan for the day is Gabe because he was the only one who chatted live. So I appreciate it, Gabe. Thank you all who tuned in, liked, and talked toys and heard my rambling. So I shall see y'all next week, and we'll have an announcement then of what's going on because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be out of town at the end of the month, so I won't really have a live stream to do. So we're going to see what I can finally do. I need to get to work on something so y'all have something to view on Friday. It'll be a minute. But yeah, figure out something. But I shall see y'all. If anyone is tuning in last second, I'll give you a second if you want to ask any questions or see anything. Always appreciate it. And then yeah. If not, I'm gonna give another minute because we're gonna go for 2 hours because we officially hit 2 hours and 1 minute. So we'll just get straight to 2 hours and 2 minutes. So yeah, but thank y'all again for those supporting, those doing your thing. Hope everyone staying safe, staying healthy, being good out there, doing your best, not letting the world fuck you over, at least too much. But how it is right now, but you know, ready to get back into the swing of things, hopefully. See what all goes down. But thank y'all again for joining me. So I shall see y'all in the next one. Waiting for my countdown. Goodbye.